Captain Richard Richardson was a wanted man. He had been captured after the British conquered Charleston, South Carolina. A patriot for the American cause, Captain Richardson had been sentenced by his British captors to a military prison on St. John's Island, located on the Atlantic Ocean near Charleston, South Carolina. It was here that his life would change drastically, and he would become a man that even family had trouble recognizing.
I wept and cried and pretty near died for the girl I left behind me.
Gentlemen, drinks
and food. Food, girl. And quickly.
I think she recognized me.
Your own mother wouldn't recognize you.
It's not my mother I'm hoping to be fooling. It's the British.
And wouldn't they pay a handsome... Wouldn't they pay a handsome penny for your capture?
It's not safe for me to be here.
Oh, I tell you that you're safe. General Marion would have my hide if I let anything happen to you. But if you keep glancing around like a caged animal, you'll draw suspicion to us. Relax, Captain Richardson.
Call me that. If anyone hears you.
I haven't seen you here before, have I?
No, we're strangers.
Strangers? And what would your business be in these backwoods of South Carolina? You wouldn't be trying to join up with the militia and fight against your king.
Us? We're just farmers traveling to Camden.
Camden, you say? Isn't that where Sumter's fighting? You wouldn't be trying to join up with the Gamecock and fight against the Loyalists, would you?
We're traveling to Camden to see my sister. My friend here hopes to propose. I've simply come along for moral support.
I know for a fact that story of yours cannot possibly be true. Because no man would willingly get married. Drinks all around. My friend is getting married. Drinks on me, man.
Honey.
Here now, don't be flirting with him. He's practically a married man.
Let's get out of here.
Just let me finish.
Jack, if I'm not mistaken, that's my neighbor's youngest. She knows me.
Be gone then. And quickly.
Hey, where are they going in such a hurry?
This time, drinks on me. What kept you?
Didn't leave this behind. Probably got these plastered everywhere.
Doesn't mention that you contracted smallpox. With a pox scarred your face, it isn't likely you'll be recognized by this description. Face it, Captain Richardson, you're a lucky man because you don't look like you used to.
Jumping from the frying pan into the fire is a saying. And that's what Captain Richardson found himself doing as he made his way toward his home in Clarendon County. Little did he know that upon his arrival, he was about to come face to face with his worst enemy. And even the devil paled compared to British Colonel Bannister Tarleton.
Your husband's dead, and it's all your fault.
No!
I would have thought he'd been a better swordsman. But then, of course, these American provincial country bumpkins aren't the gentlemen they pretend. If it's any consolation, he died quickly.
I cannot believe...
Oh, believe, madam, believe.
Not until I see his body with my own eyes.
Her name was Dorcas Nelson Richardson. Married to Richard Richardson at age 20, she lived a life of comfort and wealth in Clarendon County. But that life soon changed as battles waged throughout South Carolina. The year was 1780, and this year was one of the most eventful ones in the American Revolution. Not only was patriot fighting loyalist, but neighbor was battling neighbor. And Dorcas Nelson Richardson found herself right smack in the middle of the conflict because British Colonel Bannister Tarleton had taken over her house for his army's headquarters.
Oh, it's you. Aye, and be glad of it. This whole area is swarmed with British soldiers. Everywhere I look, I see redcoats. Any sign of her?
Not yet. She must be in the house.
Then we should get inside the house now when the redcoats are about.
Not yet.
Captain Richardson, the British are less than a mile from here. There's no telling when they'll show up. You may not have another opportunity to see your wife. And isn't that why you came back? So let's move quickly.
I saw Tarleton enter.
Bloody Tarleton.
The same.
God help her then. God help us all.
Do you think the stories are true? What they say about him?
They're true, all right. He's called Ban the Butcher because he slaughtered innocent men who were surrendering. Waited until they laid down their weapons and killed them without mercy. Even the wounded from the battle were slaughtered as they lay helpless. It was a massacre. Not even the most barbarous savage could have carried out such brutality as Tarleton did during the Battle of Waxhaws.
We have to get in.
Captain Richardson, you must be very careful. The devil would be easier to fight than Tarleton. Who knows? Maybe he is the devil.
The news of Tarleton's slaughter of the American patriots spread like wildfire throughout South Carolina. And Carolinians who had remained neutral in which side to support now joined the rallying cry for vengeance against the British. And a new slang was born. Tarleton's quarter came to mean, take no prisoners. But Dorcas Nelson Richardson was Tarleton's prisoner, and she was about to find out how dangerous a man Tarleton was.
Enter.
Morning to you, Colonel.
I take it this is not a social call.
I have news for you. News worth a lot of money.
Really?
Still interested in catching Richardson, ain't you?
So my husband is alive. Just more of your lies to try to get me to betray the American cause? Well, failed again, Colonel Tarleton.
What news do you have?
What are you offering for my information?
Look about you. Anything you want in this house, it's yours. if the information is true and leads to the arrest of Richardson. If not, a few licks of the whip will teach you what is true and what is false.
Here now, my news is valuable.
Tell me what it is and I'll be the judge of its value.
My youngest girl thinks she's seen Richardson at the tavern not more than 2 hours ago.
Are you sure? Is the girl sure?
We've been neighbors for years. Not likely she wouldn't recognize him.
I knew it. Once Richardson escaped, he'd be back here. With such a pretty little wife, it's hardly likely he'd stay away for long. Well, there's another feather in my cap. I finally succeeded in doing what my Lord Cornwallis commanded me to do. Capture Captain Richardson.
Here now, what about my payment?
Take what you want.
My missus has always fancied that necklace of yours. I bet it cost your husband a pretty penny.
This necklace is a gift from my husband on our wedding day. Never will I ever surrender it.
Grand present it is. I'll have the necklace.
No!
Oh, Mr. Wilkes. The necklace it shall be.
No! Please!
Give him the necklace, or he shall take it by force. Choice is yours. Unless...
Unless...
My dear Mrs. Richardson, life would be so much simpler for you if you'd just tell us where your husband is. He's contacted you, or will do, if you just agree to turn your husband in.
Never. Get up like the dog you are, hunting for scraps. Traitor.
Traitor? I'm loyal to the king. Your king. It's you and your husband who are traitors. You know, I wouldn't want bloody Charlton chasing me. I almost feel sorry for your husband. Almost.
What do you want? This is now the headquarters of British Colonel Tarleton. He has confiscated all my possessions.
It's been 6 years and rare visits. I fear I've been gone too long if you no longer recognize me.
Richard? Oh, Richard! It has been much, much too long. I fear this is a dream, for I have longed for this moment for so long. Are you all right?
Has Tarleton hurt you?
He said you were dead. Killed by his own sword.
Do I look like a man? Maybe I do. I know how my face looks.
Do not turn away from me.
I fear you cannot bear to look at me. My face is ugly, is it not? Had the pox.
Smallpox?
That cursed disease saved my life. It left my face so scarred I no longer recognize my own reflection. But the soldiers didn't recognize my new look. I walked right out of the British prison as if I were a free man.
But you're not a free man. Could be back at any minute. Oh, it hurts my heart to say so. I cannot stay. I must leave. I must. For if Tarleton were to capture you, only the devil knows what would become of you.
Is it your fear of Tarleton or the scars on my face that has you begging me to leave?
Richard! Richard, you're...
I will not have you pitying me.
Never. Perhaps you've changed more than you're saying. After all, you've been home a scant few times these past 6 years. Perhaps it's not my love, but your own that you doubt. After all, I know I've grown older. My face must look haggard, for it is difficult to sleep in such a tiny room with so many children. And I know I've grown gaudy.
You have lost weight. Is Tarleton not feeding you?
He gives me tidbits. Enough to survive.
Captain Richardson. Well, she is as beautiful as you said she was.
Jack Simpson. He served with me in the snow campaign. He's one of Marion's men now.
My pleasure, madam.
General Marion insisted Jack come along. Thought I might need protecting, but with Tarleton out looking for him.
Richard, you don't know Tarleton. He is an enemy to be careful of, which is why you cannot stay. You have to leave. You have to. Tarleton has men everywhere. Our fields are full of them.
I told you that we shouldn't come, that it was a fool's errand. But now, seeing you, I see why the risk.
Even if it had only been a second, that second would have been well worth the danger.
Richardson, they're back. We've got to sneak out the back if we've any hope of getting away.
If only there were more time.
Then we may have run out of time. It would be useless to fight so many men.
There's swamp that backs up to the woods behind the house. We'll hide there like the swamp fox. They've yet to catch Marion, and they won't catch us.
Then let us be gone. We must hurry.
Yes, be gone in haste, for Tarleton mustn't know you are here.
If Tarleton does discover that we've been here, you must not sacrifice yourself for me. Promise me that.
All I can promise is now that you're home, I will not be kept from you. Tarleton or no Tarleton.
Home for me is a bed of leaves if I'm lucky.
Captain Richardson, we have to leave, or we will surely be captured, and I don't aim to be at the mercy of bloody Tarleton.
If you need me, I'll be at St. John's Island, less than a mile from here.
I'll bring you food and I'll take care of you.
Save what little you have for yourself.
Now, Captain Richardson, there's no time left.
Oh!
It's too late!
What the devil do you think you're doing, Mrs. Richardson?
The door was stuck.
You mean your husband was here? He was here, wasn't he?
My husband? Here? How could he be? With the British camped all around the house?
You bloody well know he was. Don't play coy with me, madam.
I missed. I'm sorry, Colonel. I tried to wound him.
Wound him? Why did you try to kill him?
I thought you wanted him alive.
He lies! Mr. Wilkes is the one who wanted to take my husband alive, so he could collect the reward. How loyal to the king would you say Mr. Wilkes is now?
Sir, we caught this one.
So, you're the man that helped Richardson escape.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You fit the description. Tell me, are you a spy?
I am a soldier.
A soldier? I say you're a spy.
I fought in the snow campaign,
On
and
whose side?
By the rules of war, I surrender.
Tell me where Richardson is. You must know.
I do not know. I'm a stranger to these parts.
The pity of being ignorant. Hang him.
You cannot, for I surrendered.
Please, you cannot.
I will not, if you tell me where your husband is.
My husband... I do not know where my husband is.
Mrs. Richardson, if this man hangs, then his death will be on your hands.
You are the devil, are you not?
What is the truth, Mrs. Richardson? Soldier or spy? You must decide.
Soldier.
Then tell me.
I do not know where my husband is.
I say you do. And this man's life depends on you telling me the truth. For if you lie to me, I shall surely hang him. Now, does he live or die?
My husband, that is to say...
She does not know. Nor do I.
Then the answer is simple. You're a spy, you hang.
You can't hang him! You can't! Please, please, please do not do this. By all that is decent, you cannot hang this man.
By all that's decent, you stand there protecting your husband, a traitor to his king, a king to whom you both owe allegiance, to whom all decent people owe allegiance, and yet you talk to me of decency. Hang the man, now! Bring Mrs. Richardson to the window.
Please, no. You can't do this. He is too young to die.
Even the young must face the consequences of their actions.
Be reasonable. Tell us where Captain Richardson is and he won't hang.
No, Mrs. Richardson, do not turn away. You will watch him dangle. And when we catch your husband, as we most assuredly will, you'll have the pleasure of watching your beloved kick and twitch like this fellow. Wilkes, be a gentleman for once and help the lady to her feet.
Your tears have just begun. For I shall have the reward for capturing your husband, and perhaps by the end of the war I shall have so much more. Your house and your lands will make a handsome payment for my loyalty.
Mrs. Richardson and I would like a private conversation.
Are you sure that's wise, sir? Your soldiers are out searching for Richardson. Perhaps I should stay. At your leave.
What a weasel that man is. But he does have his uses. My dear Mrs. Richardson, I'm not a cruel man, but we all know what happens to traitors. Though your husband has not been loyal, I am prepared to pardon him. I'm offering you your husband life. It's well known that he is one of Marion's men, indeed one of Marion's favorites. What happened to that fellow will happen to all traitors when caught. But you can save your husband from being hanged, unless you want that favor. Do you not understand me? If your husband does not surrender, then I shall be forced.
Forced? You were not forced to hang that young soldier, and yet you did anyway. You seem to enjoy inflicting hurt onto your enemy.
Have I been discourteous to you whilst I've been occupying your house?
My fields are ruined. I do not know how we will make it through the winter. All of my animals have been stolen or butchered to be used by your army. Even my milk cow was confiscated by your soldiers. Discourteous, Colonel Tarleton? I do believe you have been so much more than discourteous.
So, my reasonable arguments fall on deaf ears. Nevertheless, I'm convinced that you are Richardson's Achilles' heel.
Meaning?
His weak spot. You won't go far from here. He'll be anxious to ensure that his pretty little wife is safe and well looked after by his enemies. Shall I tell you what I will do to you in order to make it talk? Won't be pretty to hear, madam, still less to experience.
Do what you will with me, but I will not tell you where my husband is. Do not doubt my word on this, sir. I am quite willing to die if necessary to protect my husband.
Oh, you will talk. And if not, when I catch your husband, as I surely will, I'll slice him into so many pieces you won't even recognize him. Do you want that fate for your beloved?
Sir, Captain Richardson is nowhere to be found.
The wood's back up to a swamp. He may have gone in there. It's so treacherous that we can't go in there.
Sir, shall we cut the traitor down?
No. Leave him dangling for the buzzards to eat. Maybe the sight of his corpse being picked over by blood-sucking vultures will convince Mrs. Richardson to tell us where her husband is.
I do not doubt that men who can incense feelings from a woman with such threats would be capable of any deeds of cruelty and inhumanity towards a courageous enemy. But before you boast what you will do, you must first capture my husband, which I doubt you will be able to do. And let me warn you, should you encounter my husband, then I know it will be a confrontation in which you will need to beg mercy from him. But my beloved will have no need to beg mercy from you. So, before you boast what cruelty you will enact, instead, you should fear your fate at the hands of Richard Richardson. Because when he's finished with you, well, may God have mercy on your soul, if you have a soul, which I have no doubt you have not.
By thunder! Hanging that fellow would have convinced her to talk. Seemed to have run out of options. Threatened her, taunted her, done everything I can to get her to open her mouth, but she remains obstinately silent. Though it goes against the grain, I cannot help admit that I admire the courageous resolve of this misguided but heroic woman.
Sir, it is not in my nature to frighten women.
Nor is it in mine. Yes, I know what these rebels call me. But I'm not the butcher they make out. There are two sides to every story. But my side will never be told here. In the meantime, it's my commission as a colonel who's at risk. We cannot fail in capturing Richardson and making him our prisoner.
But if Mrs. Richardson will not succumb?
I will not give up. I cannot give up. I'll continue to torment her with such terrible scenes she'll have nightmares. For it's vital to His Majesty's cause that we destroy General Marion. And in order to annoy Marion, we must first catch his friend, Captain Richard Richardson.
Threatened, taunted, yelled at, even scorned. Still, Dorcas Richardson kept quiet about the whereabouts of her husband. When she could, she snuck to the swamp to meet him, but those times were few, for she was closely watched. As the days passed, Tarleton feared that Captain Richardson had left Clarendon County. Rumors spread that Richardson had rejoined Marion Swamp Fox's army and was no longer near his home, but back again in and around Charleston.
think we'll get some of the lovely yellow ones, and then we have the really pretty blue ones.
Dorcas.
What are you doing here? This is too dangerous. Being seen out in the open like this.
Tarleton left an hour ago.
This could be a trick. He is at his wits' ends and trying to fool me into telling him where you are.
This is no trick. I made sure it wasn't a trap to lure me out. I think Tarleton believed the rumors you and the children started. And the sky tells me from that black smoke that Tarleton's burning again.
Another house ruined.
I fear so. Oh, Dorcas, I've missed you. I've missed you too, child.
Mom!
I frighten her. I meant you no harm.
You've been gone to the war for so long. To our youngest, you're a stranger.
So you're Elizabeth?
How did you know my name?
I'm your father.
You do not look like my father.
Maybe this will convince you. Hush, hush, time to be sleeping. Hush, hush, dreams come a-creeping, dreams of peace, a hand of freedom, so smile in your sleep, Bonnie baby.
Papa!
Oh, she looks like you.
Richard, this frightens me. You being here.
Then come, we'll go to the swamp. It's always offered a safe haven, it will again.
But Elizabeth!
She's old enough not to get swamp fever. Come. As you said, we don't have long. And it does my heart good to see at least one of the children.
Richard's retreat in the swamp was a spot called St. John's Island, not to be confused with the St. John's Island near Charleston. Even today, many of the Richardsons' initials can be seen carved into the trees where they had their hidden meetings.
Where have you been?
Gathering apples for a pie, which I know you're fond of.
Indeed. Kindness from you.
Perhaps you could give Elizabeth a small slice. The child never gets a treat.
Come here, child. I said come here. Don't dawdle. Tell me, child, when was the last time you saw your papa?
What?
Hold your tongue. It will be unpleasant for you and the child. When did you last see your father?
Today.
Where? Answer me! Where? Where?
You're frightening her!
You will tell me where you saw your father. If you do not tell me, then I will hurt your mother.
You must not hurt my mother.
Then tell me.
On St. John's Island.
St. John's Island? But that's just outside of Charleston, more than a day's ride from here. And you and your mother can't have gone more than 100 paces from this house. Why'd you lie to me, child?
I do not. She is so young. Yet she knows her father was once a prisoner on St. John's Island. So when she asks me why he is away, I tell her he's at St. John's Island and cannot visit today.
Is this the truth? Do you really believe your father is on St. John's Island?
Papa is on St. John's Island. I told you. My husband is not in this area. But Mama... Hush, Elizabeth. You won't get any pie. Come, Elizabeth. We must hurry. We're going to bake a pie for supper.
Madam! The child will not have a slice of pie. I propose to eat it all myself. And what I don't eat will be thrown to the dogs. John's Island, indeed.
But... as you wish. Mama. I don't understand why he was so angry. I told him the truth. Papa is on St. John's Island.
The good Colonel doesn't know there are 2 St. John's Islands, and we must not tell him. It is our secret, never to be told. You must promise, Elizabeth, never to tell.
I promise, Mama, never to tell.
Colonel Tarleton continued to seek Dorcas's help in capturing Captain Richardson, but his inquiries were to no avail. So another plan was hatched. This time, another relative of Captain Richardson's was used in convincing Richard to become a loyalist. The relative, Richard's own brother, Edward.
Edward, how good of you to join me.
Did I have a choice?
Tell me, is your word good?
When captured, I gave my word that I would not fight if released. I have kept my word.
So, you're now a loyalist.
My word is my bond, and my promise has kept me from fighting with the Patriots.
Patriots, rebels. Once a rebel, always a rebel. You must know where your brother is, or rather where General Marion is, for I hear rumors they are together.
I have heard the same rumors that Richard is with Marion. I do not know that for certain. Rumors are often untrue.
I need to get a message to your brother. Come, Edward. Drink a glass of wine with me, whilst we talk. I did not say sick.
See, Dorcas, I need to talk to Richard.
He will not surrender, nor will he betray his fellow soldiers.
It would be best for your welfare if Richard and I at least spoke.
I do not care for my own welfare. I only care for the welfare of my husband, your brother.
I too care about his welfare.
Oh, do you?
Do you doubt my loyalty to my brother?
I don't know, Edward. Should I?
You think I am a traitor?
You want to know where Richard is, so you can deliver a letter from the British about surrendering.
I am not a loyalist.
Yet you are Tarleton's messenger.
I gave my word not to fight. I keep my word. Should I have stayed in prison and rotted away until death found me? I have been pardoned, as have many patriots. I've been promised that once I deliver this message, I will no longer be under any bond to the British. I do not see the harm in delivering a message to Richard from Colonel Tarleton.
What if you are followed?
Tarleton gave his word that I would not be.
Tarleton's word! You would trust Tarleton's word! Do you know how many times he has lied to me, trying to find out where Richard is?
I believe him, Dorcas. If I didn't, I do believe him.
He is your brother's enemy. At one time, your own enemy.
You think I'm going to turn Richard into the British? Do I look like a Judas?
You're not the only one who loves him.
Then why?
You must trust me. Now tell me where he is, for I know you alone know.
Frances Marion's retreat was located in the swamps of the Low Country between Charleston and Somerville. It was the perfect hiding place. Time and time again, General Marion retreated to the swamps in order to elude capture by the British.
I didn't think you would come.
What do you want, Edward?
Greetings for your brother. Come, sit. We have much to talk about. I haven't seen you since we were in prison together.
Both of us on the same side. Then,
There is no need to fear me, dear brother.
am I indeed your dear brother? Or have you changed into my enemy? You are Tarleton's messenger, are you not?
And as Dorcas' messenger.
Dorcas says you're not acting with her consent. She does not join in the British solicitations.
That is true.
Still, she told you how to find me.
I can be quite convincing.
Then convince me she is well, for I fear she is not.
She is well, and so are the children.
So she says in her letter. She says she and the children have an abundance of everything necessary for their comfort. Should I believe her letter?
Did she not write in her own words?
Have you become sly in your words, dear brother? A tongue not to be trusted like Tarleton's speech is? I will ask you again. Are Dorcas and the children living in comfort?
Only in the comfort of knowing that you are safe.
Not the comfort of food or the warmth of a fire on a cold night.
If you return, the British will reward you with money, livestock. Tarleton said, whatever you desire, it will be yours.
Stolen from another colonist, a woman wager. Just like Eli stole from my wife.
That I have no doubt. Think, Richard, how it would be. No more cold nights outside with only a sweet potato to eat. That is, if you're lucky enough to get a stale potato.
You delivered your message.
Your answer?
I'm a patriot. I will continue to be a patriot. I will not put up my arms in order to appease the British. Tell your Colonel Tarleton and the rest of the rotten, stinking British army that I will not be bought. I will not betray my countrymen for coins. I'm not that kind of man. And I pray, my dear brother, that you will hide the whereabouts of this camp. You will do so if you wish to remain brothers.
I cannot promise that, Richard.
Are you then a traitor to our cause? My own brother, an informer?
I will not promise because I will not be going back.
I don't understand your words.
I only promise to deliver this message, if freed from my bond not to fight. I kept my bargain with the devil. Now I want to return to fight this enemy. I too am joining up with Marion's men. If Marion will have me.
He'll have you? Oh, he'll have you. Let's go meet Marion. I've talked about you, so you'll be no stranger. Dorcas is all right.
She is a strong woman. Who else do you know has stood up to Tarleton and won each fight against him?
During the American Revolutionary War, Thomas Paine wrote, "Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must undergo the fatigue of supporting it." Dorcas Nelson Richardson often felt the fatigue and fear of battle, yet she always supported the fight for freedom through calm reserve in the face of terror and threats. The most hated British soldier during the American Revolutionary War, Colonel Bannister Tarleton, did everything he could to break her down, but not once did he succeed. By aiding the American cause in a time where there didn't seem to be hope of winning any of the battles, Dorcas Nelson Richardson proved that she was truly a South Carolina heroine.
South Carolina women have played an important role throughout history. I'm Idella Bodie. I hope you enjoyed the story you just saw of a South Carolina heroine. If you'd like to find out more about the heroines of South Carolina, you can read South Carolina Women.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains